We are on scene tonight with the Tampa Police Department, showing the dangers that officers face every day, even when they're off duty. The officer involved in this one will join us live in a moment. But first, multiple people called 911, saying someone was shooting within an apartment complex.
Shots are fired at the apartment, Metro 510, on the 6th floor. We're pretty sure we heard a gunshot and screaming.
Officer Gig Brown was in the area and heading for the gym when he heard gunshots. He put his vest and duty belt over his T-shirt and shorts and went into the courtyard.
Echoing, screaming, and then there's gunshots.
Okay. All right. We got a bunch of officers on the way, okay?
At first, Officer Brown thought there might be more than one shooter. Thought he heard different caliber bullets being fired, and they sounded like they were coming from opposite ends of the building.
He has a handgun in the right hand and a rifle-type gun in the left. He is following a woman around. He is firing this gun, and his children and elderly in here.
Backup was on the way. Officer Brown saw a woman running and told her to get to safety. Then he saw the shooter out of the corner of his eye. The shooter apparently was laughing hysterically. Officer Brown aimed and fired.
Oh my gosh! What happened? Oh my God! Ma'am, they're shooting in the hallway out of my house with my kids.
The suspect was not hit, but was out of the line of sight. Officer Brown linked up with a tactical response team as they cleared the building and found the weapons the suspect had dropped. Nearly 1 hour after the first call came in, police arrested the suspect, Samario Austin. Police later found out the shooting was a response to Austin being evicted from his apartment. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. The use of force was determined to be justified. Officer Brown received the department's Award of Valor for his actions. Pleased to be joined now by Officer Gig Brown of the Tampa Police Department. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
Sorry, to take me through this, you are off duty and you're just on your way to the gym at the time?
Yeah, I was on my way to the gym, and I initially heard what I thought were firecrackers, and then shortly after I was identified as gunfire. I put on my duty belt, didn't put my keepers on, just put it around my shorts and put my vest on, and went into pursue the shooter.
Now, are you at that time instructing other people to call 911, or it's just clear that other people are calling 911 based on the fact that shots are fired?
No, I was able to key up my radio and send an alert over a channel that we had an active shooter situation. This was not a drill, and that I was on scene.
Now, you told a woman to get to safety, and then you saw the shooter and opened fire. Tell me about that moment.
Well, this apartment complex has an open courtyard, and it has multiple levels that overlook this courtyard. And I positioned myself, because I couldn't tell where the shooter was located at that time. I would hear gunfire and this hysterical laughter. And so I positioned myself in the court to give myself the best chance to see everything. And as I was doing that, it was a woman who was walking on the balcony, and, the alarm's going off, gunfire. He had actually struck a water suppression pipe. And so you had water pouring. So you had this whole cacophony of sound that was just deafening. And, she was kind of like walking around almost in a daze. And I motioned to her, "Ma'am, there's an active shooter. Please get to safety. Go back into your apartment." And as I was talking to her on my right side, I saw the movement on my left, and I turned, and it was the shooter walking backwards with the gun shooting in the direction he was walking backwards from. And I trained on him and fired.
So again, you're shooting at him as he's firing his weapon, correct?
He was, well, when he was backing up, he came into view, he was firing. When I discharged my weapon, he was still backing up, but no longer firing from what I could tell.
Got it. Now, the whole time you're in a courtyard, was there any area for cover?
I positioned myself on the corner, bladed my body as we were, we're trained in those situations in a law enforcement officer's career, where, you're thankful you're able to piece together enough of your training to survive the encounter. And I kind of bladed where I could train my sights onto the shooter and try to keep my body as much protected as possible, just to get as much cover as I possibly could. I was on the courtyard, and he was 2 stories up behind a metal rail. So there wasn't very much of his body visible when I trained my weapon up.
The suspect is out of your sight at one point, and you're able to link up with a tactical response team. Tell us what happened then.
Well, after I discharged my weapon, after I fired, he retreated out of sight. Their apartment complexes, the apartments with, windows all overlooking this courtyard. So you got a lot of natural surveillance there from the windows. And I didn't know which direction he went, where he went, whether he was in one of those apartments or not. So I basically moved out of what we would call the fatal funnel there. I kind of moved out of that area to get cover. And the shooting had stopped. I didn't hear any screams for help or see any victims wandering around. And so that kind of gave me a little time to try to radio in as much information, a description of the shooter, the type of weapons that I saw, direction where I lost sight of him, to whatever officers were responding, and waited up. And as the TRT team was coming up clearing, I linked up with them, and we continued to clear the floors.
And it must have been just an enormous relief when you realized at the end of all of this, the suspect was taken into custody and no one was seriously injured.
It was a very sobering experience in my career, I'll say that.
Yeah. Officer Brown, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.